in. Take two. My first live got interrupted. YouTube interrupted my first live. Come on in. We are talking all things Cardi B, Imani Ellis, the trial. Cardi B is being sued by a former security guard in LA. Come on in. Come on in. I'm giving you the rundown of what had happened. I've been tapped in for the past couple of days, so I'm giving you kind of the details. You're going to feel like you were watching it with me. Come on in. Come on in. Get this tea. Cardi B, Imani Ellis, lawsuit filed. The court hearing has begun. It's day 3. Today is day 3 of the trial for the lawsuit that is filed against rapper Cardi B. Come on in. Come on in, like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Come on in. I'll give you a minute to come on in for the notifications to go back out. Hopefully YouTube hasn't shadow banned me again. They've been playing with my channels. Woosah. Come on in. Come on in. YouTube playing with the channel. Okay. Looks like somebody's seeing me. Like the video. Want to make sure you all can hear me. YouTube have been interrupting my lives lately. I have 2 channels. I have this channel, and then I have another channel, ChicSpeaks, on it, where I talk all things politics. That's where I spend 90% of my time on that channel. And when I'm not talking politics and I want to talk about other things, I come over to this channel and just react to the shenanigans of the world that aren't politics. Come on in. I want to talk about Cardi B because she's been on the stand for the past 2 days. At least I've seen her on the stand yesterday and today. So I want to talk about what she had to say, what she has said when she was on the stand. This woman, Imani Ellis, she's saying, yo, Cardi B scratched my face. And as a result of that, I had to have surgery. I had to have surgery. And I'm looking for compensation. As a result of the incident with Cardi B at her job at the doctor's office, this woman, Imani Ellis, also lost her job. She lost her job. So she's seeking, Cardi B says this woman is asking for 2 to 5 million. I believe that's what Cardi said. The woman is asking for 2 to 5 million dollars. Now, the incident took place February 26th, I believe, 2018, on a Saturday at a doctor's office in California. I think in Beverly Hills. So it was on the West Coast, you know, in the old Southern California, like Los Angeles area. I think Beverly Hills. I think the doctor's office was over there. And Cardi went in to be seen. She had an appointment on a Saturday. When she got there, went to her appointment, got off on the 5th floor. There was a security guard there. Cardi took notice that the woman appeared to be recording her on her phone, and child, it just went left there. So that's kind of where the discrepancy starts. It starts there when Cardi gets off the elevator to walk to her appointment. Cardi hears the security guard say, oh, that's Cardi B. Cardi B said, when she heard her say it, she continued to walk to her appointment. Then she heard the security guard say it a second time. When she did that, that's when she turned around and saw that the woman had her phone like in front of her chest, like she was recording her. And at that time, that's when Cardi kind of started questioning her, like, why are you recording me? Are you recording me? When Cardi said something the first time to her, the woman just said, oh, my bad. So Cardi was kind of going to let it slide. But then as Cardi proceeded to walk and the lady proceeded to follow her and make comments like, oh, that's Cardi B, Cardi turns around and see her what looks to be recording her. That's when Cardi started questioning her again, like, are you recording me? You ain't supposed to be recording me. And the woman started kind of popping off saying, you can't tell me I can do what I want to do. You can't tell me what to do. And then even telling her, you need to leave. You're trying to kick her out of the hospital. It wasn't a hospital, it was a doctor's office. So the woman, the young, the security guard started now telling Cardi, you need to leave, because Cardi is now kind of in her feelings and kind of becoming hostile with this woman for recording her. Now, this all took place, like I said, I believe the exact date was February 26, 2018. Cardi was pregnant. It had not hit the media that Cardi was pregnant, and Cardi had not told anyone, including her parents, that she was pregnant. So she basically was going to this doctor on like a sneak tip. She told somebody, yo, I'm not feeling good. I need to go get checked out. And they referred her to this particular doctor. So that's how she went there. She did arrive with security, a male, but he didn't know why she was going to the doctor. She didn't want him in her business like that. She said, to know what was going on with her cat. She's like, she didn't want him knowing all that. So she left, his instructions was just to stay downstairs, fall back. So he was just staying downstairs in the lobby, waiting by the door. So Cardi's appointment, she gets on the elevator, 5th floor. So security guard on the 1st floor. Cardi is now on the 5th floor by herself, having this interaction with the security guard. During that interaction, the security guard said that Cardi B started cussing her out, body shaming her, and telling her, oh, that's why you're a security guard, is shaming her job. All of that. Called her the N-word, called her a B, all of that. She was like, Cardi was doing all of that. Cardi was putting her hands in her face. She said Cardi had 3-inch nails with rhinestones on them. So they going at it, y'all, in the hallway. Now, there's no other patients pretty much at the doctor's office at this point, because they closed early for the public, because they wanted it to be kind of closed, because they knew Cardi was coming. So the receptionist was like, she was waiting because she knew Cardi was coming. And plus the doctor knew Cardi was coming. So the receptionist is like, while I'm waiting for Cardi to come, because Cardi didn't even make it to, I guess she probably would have ordinarily made her way to like a desk. You know how you go to a desk at a doctor's office and check in? Cardi didn't get that far, because the incident between her and the security guard happened after she got off the elevator. So they got to arguing. The receptionist was like, when she peeked her head around the corner from, with hearing the commotion, she's trying to figure out what's going on. She sees that Cardi B is kind of like in a corner. And the lady, Imani, who was the security guard at the time, was just, popping off. They basically was arguing with each other. But Imani was like really going in, and the receptionist said she just got between the two ladies because she was trying to diffuse the situation. And said she was shooketh to see that it was the actual security guard that was part of the situation. It's like, what? Like, you are the person we call on if we have situations like this. What are we supposed to do if the security guard, the hired help, is the situation? What you do then? What do you do then? Who the hell do you call? You on your estate? Who do I run to? Like, who you running to? Who you turning to if the security guard is the one that's popping off, that's doing the most? So the receptionist was like shooketh, like, what? Y'all double tap the screen, like the video. So the receptionist says she gets between the ladies. So Cardi B now is to her back and her face is to Imani. So she's telling Imani, yo, chill, stop, go back to your post. Like, what are you doing? So by this point, the doctor who Cardi B was there to see pops his head out, was like, yo, what's going on? And he tells Cardi, hey, go into my office. So Cardi goes, to his office or whatever. So she goes ahead and have her appointment, go downstairs to leave the building, tell her security guard, what happened with all that. So he's like, damn, I should have been up there, whatever. But remember, Cardi didn't, want him going up there with her like that. He didn't know she was pregnant either at the time. So Imani, the security guard, she completes an incident report like 2 days after the incident. Imani completes the incident report. In her incident report, she says that Cardi B, accused her of recording her when she said she didn't. And Cardi B got aggressive with her and started verbally attacking her and even assaulted her by putting her hands in her face and scratching her nose with her 3-inch nails with rhinestones. That is what she put in the incident report in February 2018. Now, fast forward to 2020. From my research, from what I was able to see when I, Googled the situation to kind of learn more about where all this started from, because I just learned yesterday that there's a trial, because I'm like, I didn't even see it coming. Y'all, I be so tapped into politics. I have another channel, ChicSpeaks, on it, where I talk all things politics. So 90% of my time on content creation is centered around politics. I'm over on that channel. So I'm all engulfed in politics. I ain't engulfed in the world of hip hop. A little bit. Like, I was following the T Hood situation. That's probably the last thing that I covered maybe a couple of weeks ago. So 2020 apparently is when, from my research, when Imani filed the lawsuit. So that's 2 years later, y'all. 2 years later, the lawsuit filed. In the lawsuit, she alleges that Cardi B scratched her or cut her on the face, and it resulted in her having to have plastic surgery. I think it was on her left cheek that she said the cut was on. I think it was on the left, but it's on the cheek. So she said she had to have plastic surgery. She testified yesterday. I saw her testify. They asked her, I think it was yesterday, but I watched it yesterday. They asked her about pictures. Do you have pictures of the cut on your face that you had as a result of Cardi B putting her fingernails, her long nails, in your face? She said, no, I didn't take pictures. So, y'all, let me repeat this. She's on her job. She gets into it with a celebrity. She says that this celebrity got physical with her, put her hands in her face, and scratched her nose, because that's what she put on the incident report, and cut her cheek, cut her face. But you don't take pictures? It's 2018. Y'all know in today's times, we taking pictures of everything. But I'm going to say 2018 was giving that same energy where people was just posting. 2018, it was 7 years ago, but that ain't too long ago. That's still in an era of heavy the socials and things like that, the internet. She says she didn't take any pictures. Now, if it resulted in her needing to have surgery to cover a scar, whatever, that seemed like that would have been a pretty serious cut, right? So when somebody's getting injured, I've yet to hear of a case during any era, even back when we didn't even have the picture on the camera, you just taking Polaroids, where somebody's not trying to take a picture of injuries that were inflicted onto them at the hands of another person. Like, just really think about that, just the logic of it. She says she didn't take pictures. Also, she says she no longer has the phone that she had back then. No pictures, no phone. Now, the investigators, probably for the defense, Cardi B's team, They were able to access, or somebody accessed her phone records. I don't know if it was her team or Cardi B's team, but it came up at trial. Imani said the incident took place at like around like 1:30. Her phone records show her last call or whatever on her phone was at, now mind you, PM, you all, 1:30 p.m. on a Saturday. The record shows that the last calls was at 1:10 p.m. and 1:40 p.m. And Imani said after the incident happened, she called her mom. So my thoughts when I was hearing everything with the timestamp, I'm like, oh, well, maybe she called her mom at 1:40. If she said the incident or whatever took place at 1:30, maybe she called her mom at 1:40. Now, Cardi B says when they asked her, well, Cardi, what time of the day do you think this all took place? Cardi B says, it seemed it was around 1 o'clock. It was around 1 o'clock. So I was like, okay, because remember, Imani said the incident took place at like 1:30. So note to self, y'all, like, double tap the screen, like the video, helps with the algorithm. So the receptionist gets on the stand. The receptionist is the one who came out first. She's one of two people who witnessed the encounter. She came out the office, out of wherever she was at, because she heard a lot of commotion, in the hallway or whatever. When she came out, she seen the ladies fight, arguing verbally in each other's face. So she came and got between them. But she said she was very confused because she saw it was the security guard arguing with the patient. With a freak, like, how we got all this type of hostile energy between the security guard and the patient? So she tells, she gets between the two ladies, and Cardi is behind her. The security guard is in front of her. So picture this is a security guard. Cardi's behind her, security guard in front of her. So she's telling the security guard, yo, go to your post, leave here, because listen, go to your post. Cardi's doctor by this point have now walked out of his little office trying to see, like, damn, what's going on? Because he was waiting for Cardi to come, because that was his patient that was coming. Remember, they had closed the facility for the public. It was on a Saturday. They knew Cardi B was coming in, celebrity. So they closed the facility down for the public. So they were waiting for Cardi. The receptionist was like, listen, I was waiting for Cardi, and the doctor was waiting for Cardi. They knew she was coming. So Cardi went on, the doctor, he came out, poked his head out, see, like, what's going on? And when he seen, like, it was commotion, conflict, he just told Cardi, go in my office or whatever. And then they sent the security guard to go on about her business. The receptionist says that, she completed an incident report herself, I think the next day. And in her incident report, she basically said that Imani was the one doing the absolute most and acted unprofessional, because ain't no way that all of that should have been popping off between her and Cardi B. Like, what we doing? The receptionist also testified and said, when they asked her, well, when you came out and seen the ladies going at it, did Imani have a cell phone? She was like, yeah, she had her cell phone in her hand. Remember, everything got started because Cardi says she's seen Imani with her phone to her chest like she's recording her. And Cardi didn't appreciate that. She felt violated. To me, I think that's a normal reaction, because who's going to a doctor's office and looking for somebody to be recording them? That's just not the norm. And even though she is a celebrity, it damn sure ain't the norm for the higher help, for the security. It's different. Listen, we can probably give it more of a benefit of the doubt if it was just another patient in the doctor's office pulling out their phone. Y'all know how we do. You sneak and pull out your phone. But the actual staff, the security, the person who's supposed to uphold the rules, see, that's why the receptionist was shooketh, because she was like, ain't no way that all of this is going down and our security guard is all up in this. This don't even make sense. So she basically told all of that in her little incident report. So needless to say, Imani ended up getting fired and losing her job. She got fired. Reasoning being for being unprofessional. She initially was putting out there, I guess when she was on the stand, they were like, yo, didn't you say that you stopped working there on your own? Well, is it true that you were actually fired? And she said yes. And then they say, is it true also that we see that you reached out to your supervisor apologizing for being unprofessional? She might have hit us with a I do not recall on that one, because I noticed when she would get backed into the corner on things while on the stand, she had hit them with I don't recall. She'll hit them with I don't recall. But they got the records, y'all. So they got the subpoenas. So I would imagine, I don't know if her supervisor then will testify. I saw the receptionist testify. I would imagine the doctor is going to testify. I haven't seen him yet come on the stand. Um, the surgeon, the plastic surgeon who performed her surgery on her cut on her face, I saw his testimony yesterday. And then today, the psychologist she was going to, because she said, she going through depression and all of that, her mental health is just out of order as a result of all of this. So she did, I think, maybe about 2 sessions with the therapist with the psychiatrist to talk about whatever that popped off. I'm not sure yet the timeline as far as the exact dates when she went and had the surgery and when she went to counseling. But what I do know is that this incident happened, I believe the exact date is Saturday, February 26, 2018. And the lawsuit was filed sometime in 2020, from what I learned when I did a Google search yesterday to kind of learn more about this situation, because I wasn't familiar with this story. I just started seeing these in my news feed, my recommendations on my YouTube page, videos about a trial, and I'm like, what is this? I was thinking like, okay, this got to be old, because I know that Cardi B only time I hear Cardi B name lately is centered around some mess centered around that song she released, uh, and not doing, she rapped about that she capable of doing, like her drama with Offset. Like, so I hadn't heard about anything centered around just like going to court regarding an assault. So last night, yesterday, I started getting into it, like trying to see like the hell going on. I'm trying to see something now. What is going on? So the young girl, Imani, she was 25 at the time when the incident happened. She is 32 today. Her mother testified and her grandmother testified. Her mom said the day the incident happened, after Imani left work, Imani, I guess she saw Imani. Imani came to her house or whatever, and Imani was just upset. Grandma also testified that since the situation has happened, she watched Imani's mood, personality, things just changed. Imani had a cut on her face. She was like, normally, Imani is a very pretty girl, and that cut on her face was just devastating to her. That, now like her face was messed up. Now, the receptionist who came out and got in the middle of the two ladies, Imani and Cardi B, they were like, yo, well, when you came out to help them, did you see any cuts or anything on Imani? She was like, no. She was like, did you see anybody like throwing hands or putting? She was like, no. She was like, I ain't seen none of that. Also, I need to add, Imani said Cardi B spit on her. So she said Cardi B fat shamed her. Cardi B told her that's why you only a security guard. And Cardi B called her the N word. And B in the B word. Cardi B was just throwing all kinds of insults to her. So here's my thing. I feel like Cardi B, y'all know she can't pop off. I feel like, she was hitting her with some verbal. She was assassin. She was hitting her with some, hitting her hard verbally. But I truly believe that was rooted in Cardi B seeing this woman who's security guard recording her. So if that is the reason why Cardi started popping off, I can understand that. It don't justify Cardi spitting on her or putting hands and feet on her, but I can understand if Cardi may have had some choice words to say to her. But Cardi was like, yo, like we did go have some words. She was like, I didn't call her the N-word though. But Cardi was like, Cardi didn't say she didn't damn call her ass fat though. Cardi was like, I wasn't trying to fight that woman like that. I mean, shit, she wanted to seem like she wanted to call the lady probably a big bag, but that was the one, the one time she was trying to reserve back from saying what she wanted to say. So they were like, go ahead. The attorney, whoever was cross-examining, like, go ahead. Now, what were you gonna say about the woman and her body? Cardi was like, yeah, she was given, yeah, she looked just like a security guard. Let's just say, yeah, that she was more developed than me. I've never heard a woman refer to another woman as being more developed. Y'all, you normally hear stuff like that with kids. Oh, she's developed. Cardi said this damn woman was more developed than her. So basically, Cardi called this goddamn woman a big back. That's really what she wanted to have in the record. But she said, yo, she's more developed than me. So ain't no freaking way I was about to try to fight that woman. That woman's like an Amazon compared to me. And they were like, well, Cardi, how tall are you? She said, I'm 5'3", which is my height. So Cardi was like, ain't nobody wasn't trying to, Cardi was like, ain't no damn way. That woman was very developed. I wasn't ready for that. Cardi was like, I was just trying to go there to go to my appointment and check out my cat. Literally, y'all. I'm telling y'all, Cardi gonna be Cardi at all times. Whether she on a record, she in the studio, she on TV in a movie, Cardi gonna be Cardi. Cardi said, I was just trying to go check out my cat. Like all this other extra shit is popping off. I was just trying to check out my cat. That's all. Let me, can I see if my cat all right? Can I see if my cat all right? So the receptionist was like, yo, I ended up getting a cut on. So mind you, Imani suing Cardi, saying Cardi cut her face. And there's no evidence of that. But the security guard, y'all, she's the one who actually truly ended up with a cut. She said after she broke up the lady, got in the middle and broke up whatever, Cardi went on to her appointment. The security guard went wherever the hell she went. She went to another room to talk to somebody. And I guess she talking to them and they like, what's going on with your face? You got a cut on your forehead. You're bleeding. She didn't even realize that she got assaulted her damn self in the midst of, she didn't realize it. So they asked her, they said, well, who did that to you? She says, well, I didn't know that it even happened at the time. But if I were to guess who did it, I would say it would be Imani. She said, because when I got between the ladies, Cardi B was behind me. So how you get between two people who going at it, your back is going to be to one of them, right? So when she slid in between the two of them, Cardi B was to her back. And then Imani was in her face. And she talked about Imani was just going in, popping off, saying whatever she was going to do to Cardi, whatever. Like, I ain't scared. Like, that was the energy. Imani was 25 at the time. She's 32 right now. So, hell, the damn receptionist is the one who need to be goddamn filing a lawsuit, if you ask me. What y'all think? She the one got witnesses that seen us. Ain't nobody co-signing Imani's story but mama and grandmama. Nobody at the medical doctor. Ain't nobody seen nothing. And the old girl talking about she didn't take no pictures. Who getting assaulted by anybody, let alone a celebrity, and ain't taking no pictures? And this 2018. Who? Make it make sense. She said she did not take any pictures. Okay. Well, where's the phone? Oh, and I don't have the phone anymore either. She didn't take no pictures, and she don't have the phone anymore. And then I told y'all from my research, when I researched the lawsuit, what I found is that the lawsuit was filed in 2020. Y'all can put it in chat. Let me know what y'all see. But from what I found, the lawsuit was not filed until 2020. The incident happened in February, I think February 26, 2018. So that was 2 years later. And what she put on her incident report does not line up with what she put in the lawsuit paperwork. So that's kind of where she lost me at, because how do we go from, in the incident report, you saying you got a scratch on your nose, to now the lawsuit, you're saying you got a cut on your face and you had to have cosmetic surgery. Now, let me also add, this woman has also been in, since then, I think they said like 2 car accidents. So I guess Cardi B's team is trying to determine if whether or not her injury came from one of those car accidents. So I don't know, but they brought that up yesterday when she was on the stand about her being in 2 car accidents. Mama and grandmama are saying after the encounter with Cardi B, they saw the scar on her face. But nobody at the doctor's office said they saw anything on her face. The girl who came in and got between the, Cardi B and Imani, she's like, I didn't see anything. She's like, they weren't throwing hands at each other. They were just verbally just going off on each other. She was like, but I didn't see anybody throwing hands. There was nobody with anything on their, no injury. She's like, nothing like that. Cardi was like, I did not put my hands on her and she didn't put her hands on me. We were just arguing. She was like, but soon as somebody stepped out, like the receptionist stepped out to see what all the commotion was about, suddenly she said Imani started yelling, she hit me, she hit me. She hit me. So Cardi said she started looking damn confused. Like, wait a damn bitch, what, I ain't hit you. What is you talking about? But she was like, Imani just started just yelling, she hit me, she hit me. So Cardi was like, she knew she didn't hit that woman because she was like, that woman big. The woman did say Cardi was body shaming her. So I'm not going to say, hell, Cardi be body shaming her own damn fans. Remember, she just recently said some slick stuff about her fans who wear 3X, because apparently that was the size that sold out first t-shirts for her album launch. So she said, no more Chick-fil-A for you. So we already know that Cardi will say some slick stuff, about somebody's weight, but she was like, well, shit, y'all talk about my damn butt, so shit, y'all can get this work too. So I can believe that Cardi said some slick stuff about this woman, some verbal attacks. I can believe that. But I'm gonna give Cardi B the benefit of the doubt if it was as a result of this woman trying to record her in the doctor's office. That's private. That's personal. You are the security guard. So if you are the person who are supposed to be there to make sure that everybody is doing what they're supposed to do, which is, I would like to believe that when you're in a doctor's office, it is against policy to be recording another patient, somebody else who's coming into the doctor's office. It just sounds like something that would just be against the rules. It just sounds like it'd be something against the rules that you can't be in the doctor's office recording people, because now you're dealing with like these HIPAA, these violations. You know what I'm saying? And Cardi said at that time nobody knew she was pregnant. This was like the early stages. This was like her first. It might have been her first visit. Her first doctor's visit with being pregnant, because she said she just wasn't feeling well, and she asked somebody to refer her to somebody to go see, and that's how she ended up going to that place, because somebody referred her there. And she said that was her first and her last time going there, and she was pregnant with culture. Cardi, so let's talk about these fingernails. Imani said Cardi B cut her, I think, on the left side of her face with the fingernails. She said the fingernails were at least probably around 3 inches long, and it had rhinestones on them. She said it cut her face and it resulted in her have to have plastic surgery. Y'all, why Cardi up there on that stand with these damn nails? I think they shorter than mine, y'all. I said, Cardi, no, she playing. Because I ain't never seen Cardi not have some talent. Y'all know what Cardi nails be looking like. Y'all already know. Cardi up there with some equivalent of kitten heels. I say, you know how the baby heels that you wear, the baby kitten heel? That's what Cardi B fingernails look like. And I'm like, now Cardi. Cardi even trying to, somehow they asked her about what kind of nails she had that day. And Cardi was like up there trying to explain like what type of nails she had that day or whatever. And I'm thinking like, who know? Like if you're someone who always gets your nails done and you change it up, how do you know to an exact date what kind of nails you had, unless she had some pictures already that she had from back then? Because remember, Imani said she didn't have no pictures, so maybe Cardi had some pictures or something back then, because she is a celebrity, so she take pictures a lot. So Cardi was trying to tell them what kind of nails she had. I did see a picture today, I think when she was on the stand, and at one point there was an exhibit, there was a picture shown, and it was of some fingernails, but they weren't like the pointy ones that we see her wear today. They were more squared, but they was long. And they were talking to her about if it was possible to wear, she can cut somebody with or whatever. So I don't know if maybe that picture was what she was trying to say, hey, this is my hand from that day, because she had maybe taken a picture and then she was just able to zoom in. I don't know. So I'm like, but somehow Cardi know what type of nails she had that day. And she said that her nails wouldn't be that long. Her nails wouldn't have been that long because of she had all these reasons as to why her nails wouldn't be that long. She said that 70% of the time she wears her nails like maybe about 2-3 inches, but the other percent of the time her nails are shorter. I don't believe that. I don't believe that, because like I said, I've never seen her not have really long nails, so I don't believe that. But regardless on how long her nails were, I don't also believe that she cut the woman in the face. I don't believe that. I don't believe that, because if that was the case, that would have been in her incident report. And if your cut was so bad to where you need to have plastic surgery, there's no way that that would have gone unnoticed by other people at that doctor's office. Don't y'all think that would have been a visible scar? This woman, her skin complexion was maybe about my color, maybe a little bit lighter. So to me, I don't see how the scar would have gone unnoticed and why she wouldn't have had blood on her face. Because if you're needing surgery, that's a cut, it's breaking the skin, it's pretty deep. That seemed like that would have been something to where you needed stitches. But nope, there was in the incident report, nobody talked about sight of no blood. Like, and then it's not even in the incident report. So when they try to ask her to justify that part, she's all she can fall back on is, well, I said she put her hands in my face. And they're like, well, yeah, but you also said specifically she cut your nose. Well, I mean, I said she put her hands in my face. I mean, she touched my nose and my cheek. I said she put her hands in my face. Listen. So then apparently Cardi B is left-handed, y'all. So with the place that she said, and the lady probably didn't even know that. I'm sure she probably didn't know that when she came up with her story on the cut and what side and all that. So Cardi B is left-handed. That's her dominant hand. So Cardi, apparently, I guess, based off of where the cut is and Cardi being left-handed, which is her dominant hand, it's just like, how would she have, did the cut in the place to where she said she got the cut at? Like, so they're trying to make that make sense as well. But to me, it's just giving that the woman, when the situation initially happened at the doctor's office, it wasn't on her brain to sue Cardi. It wasn't. It wasn't on her mind. Because I think if it was on her mind, her paperwork when it came to that incident would have been more on point. It wasn't on her mind. I feel like it didn't cross her mind until down the line when people planted the seed in her head. Y'all know how people do. Girl, I'll sue her ass. I don't know. Yeah, girl, I already told the people that she scratched my. All right, bitch, but you better come up and just say, I don't know. But yes, you need to sue. You know how people do. So I think that that's what happened, that people planted this seed in her head of a lawsuit. And then at this point, y'all, she behind the eight ball, so she gotta try to figure out how to make it make sense, because she had already told her boss, "Oh, I'm sorry, my bad." She had already turned in the incident report. Uh, the receptionist had given her incident report with right now her encounter, which she witnessed. So I think Imani has struggled with, with you have to try to make sense of it. So I don't know where this scar came from, or how that came in the picture. But like I said, when she was on the stand, the attorneys that was like cross-examining her mentioned that she had, since 2018, she had been in a car accident. So they're wondering if the scar could have come from that. But she did have surgery. The doctor, white guy, he testified that he performed the surgery. Now, before my last live ended, because I had, YouTube be effing with my channels these days, so I had to start. This is part 2. Someone I saw in the comment, like, well, usually, like with a surgeon, they'll take before and after pictures of something, right? I haven't seen that yet, but again, the doctor was on the stand yesterday. I did not get all the way through his testimony, but the parts of the testimony that I listened to, like, I didn't see pictures, but I'm not going to say he didn't present any. But Imani saying she didn't have any pictures. Now, keep in mind also that if he had pictures, then I wonder how fresh that cut looked. Because let's just say if the incident happened in 2018, and let's just say she had surgery 2020, 2 years later, the cut's going to look different, right? Don't an old cut look different from a new fresh cut? It's going to look different. It's going to look different. So that's the thing. I don't know yet when she had surgery. I don't know yet. Because really, today I was listening to an actual live where Cardi was on the stand. Yesterday, it was just me trying to play catch up, looking at the recording, going back playing it, because I just learned about this trial yesterday. So I just started listening. But yes, I would like to see the pictures of the cut. And as that person said, a doctor should have pictures of the person's face or whatever, pre-surgery, post-surgery. Anybody who's had surgery, they're going to take some pictures beforehand, and then they'll take, pictures afterwards. But I have not seen pictures yet. You would say it would leave a mark. So listen, people are saying even right now, you don't see a, a cut, you don't see nothing on her face. Now, I saw her on the stand yesterday, but there was nothing, no visible marks on her face. Her family, her mama, her grandma said the surgeon did a good job with her surgery. But at that time, as of yesterday, people in the comments were still saying, like, yo, I want to see the pictures of what it looked like before the surgery. So at that time, people still hadn't seen pictures of what Imani's face looked like before she had the surgery. That's why I'm curious to know how long was it after the incident, February 26, 2018, did she have the surgery? How long? How long? Why the delay with the lawsuit, the surgery? Her mom, her family are saying that basically she became depressed. She just down bad, like she just didn't kind of bounce back from the situation. Imani, her mother says she is the oldest of 5 kids. She said Imani is always that person who's always trying to be the person to resolve conflict. Basically, she's speaking on Imani like she's somebody different than the person Cardi B described experiencing that day, February 26, 2018, at that doctor's office. I told y'all, Imani mama and grandmama talking about her like T-Hood mama and sisters talking about him. You know how the family got this one version, this point of view, but then everybody else got this other point of view of a person. That is what's going on right here. So it's just like, yes. So I truly feel like in this situation, Cardi B is not in the wrong. Charlene, you said she got a big bill. You said, oh, hell no. I got she got that bill in the mail. That'll do it. That medical bill will change your life. Won't he do it? That medical bill would change your life. That's probably exactly what happened. She was like, oh, hell no. You said, okay, now, Charles, what you say? I should sue her? All right, then. Well, help me get this little case together because I ain't paying this. But somehow it was delayed with the lawsuit. So it could have very well been that where she was like, I got to use my resources to figure out how to get this paid for because I ain't got it. She's on her Tasha K. I ain't got it. So Cardi on the stand with Tardy, I think today when she was on the stand with the dark hair, because yesterday she had the Baps, Haley Berry platinum blonde color hair. Today she got the brunette, the black color wig. Look like the same wig but two different colors because it's the same style. It's just yesterday was like a platinum blonde and today is black. That's her look for the day. Day one, somebody in the comments said she had the Jet Li haircut, so she got a short haircut. If y'all ever seen her wear a short wig, that's when I started seeing that she was at court. I'm like, what the hell is Cardi doing with this wig on? What? Because y'all ain't used to seeing her with a short wig on. So I'm like, Harper, who that woman? So when I started kind of, clicking on videos, I'm like, oh shit, like Cardi got a little situation going on. So that's when I got tapped in and I was vested in, child, because I first heard Imani's testimony first before Cardi's. So I was like, okay, wow, Imani, she said that, Imani, run them pockets. But when Imani got caught up, when she said that it went from her scratching my nose to her cutting my face and needing plastic surgery, then that's when she lost me. She lost me then. I was like, nah, so you playing. You trying to get you some money in this tough economy. You trying to get you a few dollars. I see what you trying to do, Imani. So Cardi on the stand, I think today when I was watching her, she was like, she feel like Imani is just trying to get some money. And I agree. I feel like that is exactly what this is about because it doesn't make sense. And Imani ain't got no receipts. Like, girl, y'all know damn well usually if somebody do something to you, especially a celebrity, out the gate, you jumping on, I'm about to see. Y'all know out the gate, people ain't waiting years, like, not like that. Cardi B, and somebody ain't waiting that long like that. Like, y'all really think about it from a common sense place. She knew who Cardi B was. She had tickets to go to an upcoming Cardi B concert, she said. She said she didn't go. Because now it's like, I don't like that F that B. She didn't go, but she had tickets to go. So she knew so here this person who you about to go see in concert, who you was going to see in concert, you're saying she assaulted you. She did this. She fat shamed. She did this. And you didn't take no pictures? You didn't file no charges? Okay, I didn't even think about this, y'all. What about charges? What about criminal charges? Isn't that assault? I haven't heard that come up, but I don't know if it just wouldn't because it's a civil suit. But wouldn't that be an assault charge? Couldn't she have went to the police and filed an assault charge against Cardi B? Because again, if this woman had to have plastic surgery, that means that was a serious cut that would have warranted stitches, right? Because if it didn't need stitches, it would have just kind of healed up over time. Get you some cocoa butter. We melanated people. We know how to make it do what it do. We God's people. It would have did its thing over time. Vitamin E oil, y'all don't play with it. Y'all know. But since you couldn't fix it that way, you had to go to the doctor. Why didn't you go file a report on her? She's a celebrity. You done lost your job. Like, it doesn't make sense. Y'all know it defines common sense and logic. I feel like this is an easy win for Cardi. It's going to be interesting to see how it all turns out, but I feel like it's going to be an easy win. And I do not look for a jury to come back and find Cardi B at fault or liable. Even if a doctor did do surgery, that doctor can't prove where that injury came from. The doctor is only going to know what she said, right? Just like her going to the psychiatrist and talking about, and the counselor and talking about her problems and being depressed. At the end of the day, You only know what somebody tells you. My background, I have a master's degree in clinical mental health counseling, which means that I can activate my license in the state of Georgia where I live, and I can practice psychology. I can set up shop. I can be a counselor, a therapist, psychologist. I can do all of that based off of my education. So I know mental health. And again, we only know what you tell us, right? And based off what you tell us, we kind of go from there. So that Imani could have told this counselor lady who testified, because she testified today, child. That woman looked like she did not want to be there. I was cracking up in them comments because somebody said she was like they didn't win and grabbed off the street, gave her a few dollars, and told her to get on that stand and say she a therapist. And Imani came and seen her 2 times because the lady looked. It was nothing professional about this lady, just her demeanor, just everything. She just Y'all go check it out. Y'all got to get into this trial. It's quite entertaining. It's quite entertaining because the more I'm listening, the more I'm seeing that Cardi B got this one in the bag. They playing games. They're playing games. Charlene said her job at the time let her go because of that mess. Yeah. And then they say that on the stand when Imani was on the stand yesterday, when she's on the stand, they were like, well, did you say that you had left the job like on your own? But isn't it true that you were fired for not being professional? And she said, yes. Yeah. Then they asked her, isn't it true that you went to your boss, your former supervisor, and apologized for your behavior and being unprofessional? So if Imani was so innocent, what is she apologizing about to her previous employer? Why would she have quit? Remember, she was putting out there she quit, but she got fired. Then the receptionist lady who came in between Cardi B and Imani, she said that surprisingly to her, Imani rang her line, y'all. She said, I was surprised. I'm like, the hell she calling me for? Mind you, remember, this the receptionist. She went on the stand. I seen her testimony live today. She on the stand. She was a receptionist. Remember, Imani was a security guard. Imani got fired. Hell, the receptionist, her what do you call it? Her eyewitness statement helped get Imani fired up out of there because she witnessed it. So based off of what witnesses are saying, which it was only 2 witnesses, it was the doctor, Cardi B's doctor, who she was there to see, and the receptionist. Those were the only 2 witnesses that witnessed the situation between Imani and Cardi B. So Imani called the receptionist, maybe, I think reception says like 3 months later. And she said Imani called her. And she was like, my first thought was, why is she calling me? So she like, listen, I try to keep it cute. I'm listening to her. So Imani just talking about just how she kind of was in her feelings about losing her little position and this and that. And the receptionist just listening. And she says that they were like, well, why do you think she called you? She was like, I guess she might. I don't know. She wanted to see if I can help her in some type of way. She was like, but I promise you, what I had to say, she wouldn't like. Because remember, this receptionist felt like Imani was the one at fault. I don't know if at the time Imani didn't know that this receptionist had put in her incident report that said that. Because why are you calling her? So she said she politely told Imani, listen, I got a job to keep. I'm not trying to be caught up dealing with all that. But basically, baby, I ain't got nothing for you. Because she was like, my truth is that Imani was the one in the wrong. So I'm not really the one that she need to be trying to turn to for her to be her savior, because I think they made the right decision in this. She was like, Imani was just not professional. She just was wrong on so many levels. So they were asking, they were like, well, did Imani know that Cardi B? Because remember, I told y'all they shut the place down to the rest of the public. Some of y'all might have just came in. Cardi B's appointment was on a Saturday. they closed the facility to the rest of the public. So the receptionist, she knew Cardi B was coming in. And the doctor, of course, knew Cardi B was coming in. So they were like, well, did Imani, she was a security guard, did she know that Cardi B was coming in? And she said, I don't know. But y'all, I'm wondering, after I heard that, I got to wondering if Imani already knew Cardi B was going to be in there that day. Because why wouldn't she? If you didn't told the receptionist, like, what? It's not a lot, y'all. It's a doctor's office. It seems like it's not a big place. It's not a hospital thing. It's a doctor's office. It's in a building, and they're on the 5th floor. So they just one floor. So it don't seem like a place that's heavy staffed. And remember, they had already closed the place off to the public. So if you didn't close it off to the public, you probably didn't already told some of the staff, they didn't already probably got on up out of there early. Because remember, the receptionist said she remembered this day vividly because her sister had a baby shower scheduled that day. So she was looking for, how you watching the clock when you got shit to get to after you get off work, and you don't need nobody coming in your face asking you to do a damn thing because you trying to be out that door right at 3:30. You got somewhere to be. Don't be coming over here talking to me about you. Send an email. I'll look at it tomorrow. I got to go. Y'all know that energy. So she said when she went in that lobby and seen them at it, this was going in her mind like she would know this. What she said was, y'all, I'm telling y'all, my sister had a baby shower. But in that moment, I was focused on what Cardi and old girl was doing. But low key, I was trying to get the hell out of there because my sister had a baby shower. I wasn't trying to deal with this shit. I was not trying. So I felt all of that. Because when it's time to go home, you ain't trying to deal with no nonsense. So I truly believe that it's a very good chance that Imani already knew Cardi B was going to be there that day. And that's why she was already probably on the 5th floor waiting for Cardi B to come. So the receptionist says she don't know what type of communications the security receives. She just know that she don't deal with making them aware of things. She don't even know if she couldn't really even speak on, because I think they started asking her questions about other security and stuff like that in the building. And she was like, well, I don't know, because she like, shit, that's not my, listen, that's, you security. I just know that they supposed to be here, make sure it don't get funky, make sure it ain't on and popping to protect us. What they not supposed to be doing, they not supposed to be the one that's a part of the tomfoolery. This was a situation, y'all, where the security, the help, was a part of the tomfoolery. Who the freak do you call when the person who you supposed to call on to be your savior and come rescue you is the one that's caught up in the nonsense? It's that part for me. This is why the receptionist said she was shooketh when she came out in the hall and seen that it was the security guard that got into it with Cardi B. She said, what are you doing? Who wouldn't ask that question? What are you doing? Hell, that receptionist didn't even have nobody else to call for help because the help was already there as the culprit of the nonsense. Y'all, let that sink in. Old girl didn't even have nobody to call for help. And be like, oh, call security. I'm about to call security. Security is here already. Security front and center. And so, listen, that woman like, listen, I'm just trying to get off my little shift. I knew I should have damn called out, used a vacation. But no, I said I was going to go into work. You know how I go. So it was going down on a Saturday for no reason. Because somebody then got starstruck, trying to get a little photo out, got caught, and Cardi B started popping off the mouth. And Cardi B probably said some things that struck a nerve. Because basically on the stand, Cardi was calling the damn woman a big back without saying she was a big back. Cardi said she was more developed than me. That was how Cardi was trying to find the right words to use to describe this woman. But she's like, this was a big woman. The girl was only 25 years old at the time. So she was like, ain't no way I would have been trying to fight. I promise you I was not trying to fight that woman. She was big as hell. Cardi said she's only 5'4". And Cardi was there because she knew like she was pregnant. So Cardi was like, she wasn't trying to do that because she knew what her situation was. I believe Cardi in this situation. I'm just saying. Y'all let me know, put in the comments. Do y'all believe Cardi or do y'all believe Imani? Do y'all believe Imani was like, no, when she says I wasn't recording her. Cardi just got sensitive, got paranoid. I tried to tell her I wasn't recording her. She got disrespectful, jumped bad, and I had to jump bad with her. I just matched that energy. You believe that? That's because that's Imani's version. Or do you believe Cardi's version? Cardi's like, yo, she was recording me. I asked her to stop. I said something first about her recording me. Like, are you recording me? And she said the girl acknowledged it because she said, oh, my bad. Cardi said that was Imani's response to her when she caught her recording her. Oh, my bad. So Cardi let it slide. She didn't even pop off then. When the girl said, oh, my bad, Cardi said she just, proceeded to walk down the hall to go to her appointment. But when she saw the lady was still following her and the lady had made a comment again saying, this Cardi B, because I guess, I don't know if she was on a live, whatever, recording. And so she's having voice added to recording. So she's wanting people to know, y'all, this Cardi B, because Cardi B says she showed up there in a hoodie. She says she remember she herself was wearing a hoodie that day. So when she turned around the second time and seen Imani having the phone to her chest, you know how when you're courting somebody, and she was like, you record, and then that's when Imani, didn't deny it and basically was on some, listen, I can do what I want to do type tip. And Cardi like, no, you can't. You can't do this and that. And that's Imani like, yes, I can. And then finally Imani was like, you can leave the building. Because now Imani trying to flex her power. Because remember, she's security. Cardi told them people on that stand, they was like, well, what does she look like? She looked like a security guard. And that's when they said, well, what does that mean? They said, well, what does that mean? And Cardi kind of started smiling and smirking. And I'm thinking to myself, she's trying to say that goddamn woman was a big bag. So then Cardi was like, well, I'm just saying. They was like, no, go ahead and say it. The white folks say shit. White man was like, no, go ahead and say it. What do you mean she looked like a security guard? She said, let's just say she was more developed than me. So it ain't no way in hell I was trying to fight that woman. She was more developed than me. Cardi said that with a smirk on her face. I knew what she meant. She said that damn was a big bitch. I wasn't finna fight her. You know, some people you be like, I gotta pull something out on that one. I gotta get my car. Cause some people be so big, you like, I ain't finna what I look like. So Cardi, wasn't trying to go toe to toe with that woman. She wasn't trying to do that. She's like, no, she knew, she's like, look, I knew better than that. That's that type that Cardi will probably try to get her best friend that's kind of thick, probably to get her to go ahead and roll up on her, because she bigger than Cardi. So Cardi probably would have ordinarily maybe tried to get her to kind of go do something. But Cardi was like, no, she lying. I ain't do nothing to that one. I didn't touch her. She didn't touch me. We just had a verbal altercation. It was verbal. She's like, the whole thing, it was just verbal. And really, I didn't think no more of it coming out of my appointment. And I forgot what the woman looked like until yesterday or whatever she said. I guess when the lady came, I think she said yesterday when they showed up to court, that's when she saw Imani again. And she was like, I had forgot what she looked like. I forgot what she looked like. So Cardi was like, this is just about money. She trying to get, I think that Cardi said a dollar amount. I believe Cardi said $2 to $5 million. I believe that was a dollar amount. 2 to 5 million. I know when I looked it up online last night to learn more about the case, the woman is trying to get Cardi for pain and suffering, back paid wages, because the lady had lost her job. She got fired for being unprofessional. So she wanted her back paid wages. Now, what got me was the future wages part. Y'all help me understand where that come in as far as the future wages part, because she's trying to sue Cardi for future wages. For what? What Cardi got to do with her future? I'm confused on that part. So y'all gonna have to help me on that, because I ain't got all the damn answers. I'm confused on the future wages part. But on the stand yesterday, when she got cross-examined, that judge, that the lawyer did point out, he was like, yo, after you got fired, didn't you get another job where you were making more money? And she said yes. She said yes. So I'm not sure where the loss of the wages come from, because this was 2018. 2018 market wasn't like 2024, 25 market where everybody damn near on the soup line. AI taking everything. It was kind of different in 2018. It wasn't spectacular, but it wasn't 2025 type energy. So, but that's what she wants. And then she wants lawyer fees covered, medical bills covered. Remember, somebody in this chat, Catherine, somebody said, nah, she got that damn medical bill. She is asking for medical bills to be covered. And she want plus $25,000. Child, with something else. She want to throw in another 25. So I done told you all the shit she want. And then she like, and why you at it, throw in another 25,000. I guess she said after the hell she cleaned up, she finna be goddamn fine like Cardi B. She finna be damn snatched. She finna have her the same wig of in all the colors of the rainbow, just like Cardi B. She said everybody finna be living good. She finna be booed up with Offset. And she's a cute girl too. I mean, the girl, she cute, she chunky. But I'm sure that with that little money, she trying to, switch it up and do like all the other ones do. Go buy her a damn ass. Y'all know how they do when they get a little change. When they get a little change. She got plans for that change. So she in the court kind of lay it on thick. She's like, listen, I got bills. I got this medical bill. They keep calling me. That white man who did my surgery, he's sending me the collection. So hell yeah, I guess he going to testify because he's trying to get paid. So he like, listen, what you say? How you can't pay this? Okay, what you gonna do? I trying to get my money from Cardi B. Well, all right, then tell me what the hell I need to be, cause shit, we need to get to this money. Help me, help you, help me, help you. It's giving that type of energy. Everybody helping everybody. Remember, you got the psychologists up there, like, yo, what you trying to throw me? Everybody trying to get paid. Y'all, this is a trick. Everybody trying to get paid. Mama said, look, her baby Imani is depressed. Grandmama said my baby was such a pretty girl before she got a face cut. She was a pretty girl. Y'all ain't made none of this issue. This is what y'all. This is all just from 2 days. I done ran down y'all 2 days worth of testimony. I love listening to court trials. If I was a full-time content creator, I probably would just cover court trials, y'all, because I'd be engulfed. I'd be like, what the hell? Now you said what she done did. I don't know, y'all. It just I just like getting into it because I'm a people person. So I told you, y'all, my background, I'm clinical psychology, clinical mental health counseling. So I always say my favorite subject is people. I love to study people. So maybe that's why I like with the trials and stuff, because I'm reading people and I'm listening to what they say. I'm just taking it all in. I had to go live on this channel because I don't really be on this channel that much, but I had to talk about this stuff out loud because I'm like, ain't no way. Ain't no way that Cardi B is in court at trial for this. This should have got thrown out. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand how I'm on my Deborah. How did we get here? Like, this is Deborah Cox all day long. Nobody's supposed to be here. This is what that is giving. Ain't nobody supposed to be here. Why? Cardi B dealing with Offset dusty ass. She got that damn album that she got to try to figure out how to them sell so she can continue to take care of them kids. Cardi got ish to do. She done pissed off the black women, the fat ones that Cardi got enough on her plate. She got enough on her plate. So I'm like, why are we here dealing with this? Like, why? What did I miss? I need to go to the internet, figure out what freak did I miss, because this ain't making no sense. Listen, now I'm about to go. Oh, go watch that ish, y'all. Go watch it. Go watch it. The part that got me, because y'all know a lot of times we're not really used to seeing like the celebrity or the person up there on the stand. So I think the thing that really got me is yesterday seeing Cardi on the stand, and she had her. I said, "Oh shit, Cardi!" Y'all didn't fan. I'm like, Cardi on the stand, because I wasn't expecting her to be on the stand. Like, we seen Young Slim Thug, what's his name, Young Thug. When he had here, because I'm in Atlanta, y'all. So it be on and popping out here. So I was watching his court, his trial stuff too. So I was used to kind of seeing him, on the sidelines. But with Cardi B, she was on the stand. And y'all know everybody be talking about Cardi B and how she talk and can't talk. You know, they get to talking about her and Beyonce real bad when they get to talking. So I'm like, well, what the hell Cardi got to damn say? So that's what kind of had my attention because I'm like, but shit, I'm trying to hear what Cardi got to say. While she up there with the Bats wig, because she had that platinum blonde wig that Haley Berry had on in Bats. That's the color wig that Cardi wore to court yesterday. Today is black. It looked like the same wig, but yesterday was like platinum blonde. Today's black. So y'all, I mean, I'm into it. Y'all check it out because listen, you can't make this ish up. I ain't made none of this ish up that I done told y'all. I promise you I haven't. It might sound crazy as hell, but I promise you I didn't make it up. I told y'all the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Let me put my battery pack on so my phone won't die on y'all. Uh, but y'all, check it out. Let me see. Is there anything else? I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I learned? So y'all know. Can y'all hear me now? It's my Bluetooth that will jack me up every time. I made it home and I tried to get out of my car. Can y'all hear me now? You can hear me. Okay, let me test it out again. Um, uh, can you hear me now? I'm trying to turn the car off. Bluetooth jack me all the way up every time. You can't trust it. Can you hear me? You can still hear me? Okay, great. Okay, cool. Yes, we got you now. All right, thank you. So I was saying that Cardi has like 4 attorneys I seen. And yes, I seen that man ask that woman, that attorney asked her if that was her real hair. And she smiled. It's like, no, it's a wig. When she said, no, it's a wig, that man responded and said, oh, well, that's a good one. Lord Jesus. That man said, y'all know we be seeing some effed up wigs out here. That white man said, oh, well, that's a good one. I said, God damn it. Even the white men know y'all be down bad sometimes out here with these damn wigs. Y'all be down bad out here sometimes with these wigs. That man said, oh, well, you got a good one. I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me about the. Y'all need to get into this damn trial so we can talk about it. because I need somebody to talk about this stuff too. I told you I've been at work listening and get pissed off. Somebody come up trying to talk to me. Cardi was on the stand. uh, Catherine says, but neither does the white girl. Cardi was on the stand, and I'm like, okay, why are you talking to me? I'm trying to listen to Cardi save her money. Oh my God, that man was like, that is a good one. So I'm like, damn, he must have seen some bad ones because he was just like, listen, the Baps one is giving. He liked that little Bap situation. So yesterday was the Baps blonde. Today it was a black version of that one because it literally looks like the same wig but like a different color. Hashtag save card. Catherine, listen, they playing. I'm not even like what is his name, part of the Barty gang. I'm not that, but I'm the type of person. I'm an equal opportunist. If something's wrong, I'm gonna call it out. I'm gonna call it out. And in this situation with Cardi B, I feel like it's wrong. I mean, it is what it is. It's just is wrong. It's not right. This person is trying to make a few dollars, and this is not the way to do it. And God, God, the Lord knows all, and He knows that this is some bull. This ain't right. Charlene, you said I think the judge is with Cardi B. Yeah, I can see that because do y'all notice that when during cross-examining, when Imani's lawyers try to ask questions and the other team will do an objection, and then the judge, like to me, 90% of the time will say sustain, which means that, okay, yes, the objection can stick. And I'm like, hmm. And I'm like, well, damn, is this attorney going to ever be able to get some questions asked that he can actually legit get answered? Because the judge, every time that other like y'all know Cardi, but Cardi, here's the thing, Imani's going up with like as Tasha K called Cardi B's team. When Tasha K, if y'all familiar with Tasha K, remember Cardi B sued Tasha K for $4 million. Tasha K used to be like my neighbor. She used to live like maybe about 20 minutes from me. She was in a neighboring town. We lived in the same county. This is before she uprooted Georgia and moved to Florida. She moved to Florida because they don't have the state tax. So that's why she left Georgia. But when she was here, we lived like in the same county. We were neighboring towns. Tasha K said going up against Cardi B was like going up against a machine. Cardi B got deep pockets. So it's going to show with the quality of the attorneys, her team that she has, because she can pay for it. So Cardi over there with about 4 attorneys. I think I counted about 4. I know it's at least 3, but I think it's 4. And so I got to wondering if it was the same team that she used when she was suing Tasha K. But basically, Cardi has awesome lawyers. And every time Imani's attorney ask a question, Cardi's lawyers are on it like, objection, and they'll provide whatever damn reason. I ain't went to nobody law school about why they objecting. And the judge, 90% of the time, is like in agreement with it. And I'm like, damn, like, so, for you, I think, Catherine, to say you think that the judge is with, I think judges be knowing when stuff is foolishness, but they got to let it ride out. They just got to let it ride out and hope that the jury is smart enough to see through it. It be like that. Because a lot of times the judge be like, yo, jurors, don't worry about the penalty, discipline, whatever. Your job is to determine if somebody is innocent, guilty, or whatever. Don't even think about the punishment part. Don't think about that part. Don't factor that in. And because a lot of times the judge, that's their job, is to kind of determine the sentencing. And I can see how right now this judge may be viewing this case being some tomfoolery and feeling like it's a waste. There's no receipts to back up Imani's claims. Like, where are the receipts? Catherine Lee, you say you are spot on when it comes to the better lawyer. And yeah, you can see it's very visible. You said, remember the Johnny Depp trial? Amber Heard's lawyers were a joke. I remember that being big, but that was a trial that I didn't follow. But I remember it made big news. You said correct. They call that um, bifurcated trials, separating the guilt from the punishment, and in civil liability, separate the damages. It's in my backyard in Virginia. Got it. Okay. So, yeah, like, I feel like, yeah, the judge know it's some nonsense, but he got to rock with it, let it go through the system, let it go through the due process. But I don't feel like the jury is going to get it wrong. I don't see, because Imani does not have enough receipts to back her claims. She does not have enough receipts to back her claims. It's not there. Charlene said you have to listen to what the girl says, because she said different things. Thank you for highlighting this, because now I'm really excited to go watch it. Baby, go watch it. I'm going to have to get caught up and finish listening to what Cardi had to say, because when I left off when Cardi was on the stand, they were questioning her about, I was interested because they asked her, they said, so when did you start rapping and why did you start rapping? Child, I just knew that woman was finna damn insert her stint at the strip club. I just knew that he was finna get inserted in the story. Well, it all started when I was at the strip club. So Cardi was like, well, I started rapping in 2006. No, this is what she said. She said, I started out as a social media influencer. And then, I started rapping in 2016. So, y'all, I didn't even notice, I didn't learn who Cardi B was until Bodak Yellow came out. Because I didn't watch them ghetto, reality shows and stuff she was on. So when Bodak Yellow came out, that's kind of when I guess the rest of the world came to know who she was, because that song was popping, like that, like probably worldwide. So it's like, oh, it's a Cardi B. So then that's when, I started hearing her name. So she was like, I became known initially from being a social media. She said, yeah, social media or social media personality or something, she said. Then she said, and I started rapping I started rapping in 2016. And then she says, I blew up. And when I then became a superstar in 2017 by the grace of God. That's what she said. She did not insert that the strip club nowhere in that story. It was nowhere in that story, because y'all know a lot of these strippers, the gateway to being a rapper is through the strip club. How many female rappers we know, and part of their past was they was getting it on the pole? Like, let's talk about it. Like, that is just like the starter package. You go through the strip club first. Didn't Eve go through the strip club first? Look at her. She's somewhere with her heels kicked up, getting mani-pedis with the white man money. You see what I'm saying? How somebody can evolve from the strip club. So that's the story. So that's where I left off, with her kind of telling her story as to how she got her stardom. So not quite sure what they were looking for with her, talking about her background. I'm not sure where that was going. So I have to go back and finish listening to her testimony today to see what else came up out of that, because really she I heard her yesterday talk about that day when the situation happened. So I'm not sure what else that they can talk to her about centered around that day that they didn't ask her yesterday. So I gotta listen, but y'all definitely gotta tap in. Y'all got to tap in and know what the hell I'm talking about, so y'all know she was not lying. Y'all, we got to see what the wig gonna be tomorrow, because it's been 3 different wigs. First day they said it was Bruce Lee, because it was a short little haircut and some bangs in the short. So go look at it. Somebody in the comments said she was giving Bruce Lee. And then to me, I called yesterday's wig Baps, because it was like platinum blonde with a big giant part on the side. And, shoulders, big waves, And then today was the brunette version of the platinum wig. So we got to see what tomorrow was she finna come through with, because every day so far has been a different wig. We like, all right then, Cardi, we see you. Charlene said, did you hear when Cardi B asked that she told her lawyer, did they have anything in the hall? I started watching Cardi B on the New Year. She's the same way now. That's why I love her. She is real. They are beautiful. Yes, Cardi is just always who she is. I don't dislike Cardi, but I'm not like part of Barty Gang either. But I don't speak bad about her. I don't. It's not really too often that I see her out here in these streets and just being problematic or feel a way about how she's. I think I probably get most probably annoyed is when she be playing with these men and entertaining they foolishness. That's kind of usually what does it for me with Cardi, where I kind of like, well, but like I ain't interested in hearing what Cardi's name because she be out here playing crazy, looking crazy to these men, Offset, and then she got the new guy. So I just be like, let me let Cardi be over there and do her. But as of late, I just mainly love seeing her in parenting mode, seeing her beautiful children, her baby, love, 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 seeing baby blossom. I think Cardi's a great mom. I just love her energy, with just her being in mom mode and just how she speak on her children, and they always look so happy and smiling. So I love that for her. I love that about her. But when it comes to her decision making with her relationships, I can't do it. So I just kind of stay out of that part or whatever. But in this situation, Imani wrong for what she trying to do. Imani is wrong for what she trying to do. But she lost her job. Cardi B didn't take her job from her. She did that. Catherine, you said we all make our choices. We do. It's a mess. We do make our choices. And she made that poor decision. And here it is 7 years later, and she hasn't taken responsibility for it. She's sitting in victimhood. She's sitting in victimhood. And I really don't feel like it's going to work out for her. I don't feel like it's going to work out for her because, like the witnesses are like, no, that's, they're not backing her version of the story. So I think when it comes to the jurors, what they're hearing from the witnesses, I think that's going to go far with them. I think the receptionist testimony is really going to do it for them. It's going to do it for them. And here's another thing. How, to me, what makes it that much more obvious that the receptionist is telling the truth is because, let's just look at it this way. The receptionist and Imani are like co-workers, meaning they would be on the same team. They work at the same place. The receptionist is testifying against what Imani is alleging happened. Like, really think about it. She's saying, mind you, they work at the same place. They know each other. They've seen each other. They work. They go to the same building. They work at the same place. She's saying, no, that is not what happened. Imani did this, that, and the third. Her incident report backed what she's saying on the stand. And basically she's saying Cardi was the one who was victimized that day. I believe this receptionist is being honest and telling her truth. She's just telling the truth. She don't know Cardi like that. She just know her like anybody else. Oh, she got some songs I like. I know her from the media. But what reason does she have to lie and say things that are favorable to Cardi B versus saying things that's favorable to her former coworker, somebody she worked with? Like, really think about it. Because she could have just been up there to defend this person who she knew, who she worked with, seen every day. But no, she's like, no, I was confused when I seen how this person was behaving. And I was just like, oh no, oh my God, this is an embarrassment. What are you doing? So I believe that the jury is going to think about this. They're going to be like, this receptionist, she knew that this was some mess. She knew that this ain't what we do here. Like, what are we doing, y'all? I think this doctor's office is in like Beverly Hills or somewhere. It's in LA, Los Angeles. I think it's in Beverly Hills. It's somewhere over there. But the receptionist knew that Imani, who was a security guard that day, was out of order. He was out of order. She was out of order. And that's her testimony. And guess what? Her testimony matches her incident report. How about that? Her testimony matches her incident report. Imani's testimony, Imani's incident report, Imani, oh yeah, they kept playing back yesterday Imani's, what do you call that, this deposition, is that what they call it, where she was on camera, and when she first, I guess, spoke with whoever the police, whoever, what she was saying then wasn't what she was saying while she was on the stand. So they just was getting her caught up. She can't feel confident getting off that stand that things are going to go her way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Charlene said, because what she get out of it, her job knew it, right. Easy to be consistent when you're telling the truth, always. Well, Sonny said, what happened? I see the trial pictures. There's a woman, a young lady. She's now 32, but at the time she was 25. She was a security guard at a doctor's office in California, in LA, I believe Hollywood, somewhere. I mean, not Hollywood, Beverly Hills, somewhere over there. But it was a doctor's office. Cardi showed up for an appointment. She gets off the elevator. And after getting off the elevator, she took notice that the security guard was recording her. And Cardi called her out on it. And then they started arguing. And Ellis, the woman who's filed a lawsuit against her, is alleging that Cardi put her 3-inch fingernails in her face, and when she did that, she cut her cheek, and it resulted in her needing to have cosmetic surgery. Now here we are. Oh, and as a result of that altercation, that incident, Imani lost her job. So Imani lost her job, had to have plastic surgery, developed depression, lost money. Like, she's basically alleging that as a result of Cardi B's behavior, impacted. She took a financial loss. Like, she just lost pretty much in every way, all aspects of her life. She felt like she just lost. And now she's suing Cardi B for, I believe, $2 to $5 million, Cardi said. She's suing Cardi for millions, to cover, medical bills, wages, things like that, pain and suffering, along with some other things. And Cardi saying she a bald-faced lie. I didn't touch that girl. Yes, we had words because she was recording me. She acknowledged it because when I called her to record me the first time, when I was like, are you recording me? She said, oh, my bad. And then when Cardi called her a second time, at that point, that's when Imani I guess, just got combative with her and just told her that she could basically do what she wanted to do, even if that did include me recording, doing whatever. She told Cardi she can do what she wanted to do. And Cardi was like, no, you can't be recording me. And it was just a whole mess. And then 2 people in the doctor's office came to see what was all the commotion in the hallway, one being the receptionist and the other being the doctor who Cardi B was there to see. So that's the situation in a nutshell. That is the situation. So Cardi and her team are trying to prove that she did not touch that woman. I feel like they're doing a great job with doing that. And I really think a lot of the proof is resulting from just Imani's own testimony. I mean, Cardi has an awesome team, but Imani's testimony is, to me, alone, is not working for her. Has her down bad. She don't have any pictures. She claims she don't have the phone anymore. She doesn't have the phone anymore where everything that she had at the time. Like, so they can't really try to, go through the phone or anything. But I guess they did the call logs or whatever through the cell phone company, and they were able to see her call history for that day and saw the calls that was made around the time of that incident. And I don't know, in this trial, there's a way to pinpoint. I wonder what time Cardi B's doctor's appointment was. Because if Cardi B arrived to her doctor's appointment on time, then there's a time. We can go off of that with like a timeline. Because Cardi said it was around 1. The Imani said it was around 1:30. And the reception also said it was between 12 and 1. So Cardi and the receptionist both believe it wasn't really no later than 1 o'clock. That's what we're wondering, what time was Cardi B's doctor's appointment? Because Imani's saying 1:30. But I'm wondering if she's saying 1:30 because she knew when she was making calls, and she knew she made some calls or whatever around that 1 o'clock time, or did some stuff on her phone around that 1 o'clock time when Cardi B was there. So that would kind of go against her trying to say that she wasn't on the phone sharing Cardi B's business. So I think that's why she has to push the time out to say what time everything went down, because her call records show she placed a call at 1:10 p.m. and 1:40 p.m. Remember, Imani said that the incident happened at 1:30. There is no call on the call log at the 1:30 time. Remember, it's 1:10 p.m. and 1:40 p.m. She did say following the incident, she called her mother. So that's when I was thinking, like, okay, well, I guess maybe she called her mom at 1:40 if she was saying that everything popped off at 1:30. So remember, I listened to her testimony first before I listened to Cardi B's testimony. I think it was just the order. I think she might have got on the stand before Cardi. So I ended up listening to Imani's testimony first. Then when I listened to Cardi's testimony, to me, Cardi B's testimony made more sense just from a logical stand. It just made more sense. Imani's Imani's stuff don't make sense. The math ain't mathing. The math ain't mathing. So I have to acknowledge that it's not mathing, and it is what it is. So in this situation, I hope Cardi can, pull out the W, because I definitely feel like somebody's trying to get over on her. Charlene said, Cardi B said I called her a B. How the hell are you going to allege a bunch of issues without receipts? Exactly. Exactly. But you did hear them say that they pulled the call at 6. They pulled the call. They pulled what call at 6? No, I don't think I heard that part. You said she was one. So was a part that was the appointment at 1. So that's what I'm curious to know, like what time, because I would imagine that the doctors, they should be able to pull those records to see what time Cardi B's appointments was, what time maybe notes got. Y'all know when we go to the doctor, they're putting stuff in the system. There's time stamps associated with that stuff. Her record from her phone. Her record from her phone. What was the thing about 6 o'clock, 6 or 1? The record, yeah, I heard them saying that they seen a record at 1:10 and 1:40 for a phone call. 1:10 and 1:40. I feel like, yeah, if they go to look at Cardi's medical records, they should be able to see the timestamp centered around just notes and just different things. Her appointment, whatever time the appointment was scheduled. You said because she doesn't have the phone anymore. Right, she doesn't have the phone anymore, but I feel like the doctor's office should be able to pinpoint an idea of when Cardi was there based off of what time her doctor's appointment was. I feel like Cardi's doctor's appointment seemed like it was around like 1 o'clock. Most of the time, people not getting to the doctor super early. Like your appointment at 1 o'clock, you probably walking in there probably a few minutes before your appointment time if you're on time. If the appointment time was like 1:30, like, because remember the woman Imani said everything popped off around 1:30. So that means Cardi would have been running late to her appointment. You see, so I'm wondering if Cardi's appointment was closer to, like, with the 1 o'clock. And then remember, the girl, the receptionist said that day they were closing early. She remembered that day they were closing early because they closed down the office because Cardi was coming in. So they closed it down to the rest of the general public because there was going to be a celebrity there for her privacy. So that's why she said that's how she kind of was pinpointing the time between 12 and 1, because she knew that they were closing early. And she was going to be leaving from there to go to her sister's baby shower. So I think Imani lying. And the more testimony I hear, the more I strongly believe that. Listen, Imani, if Imani got assaulted, whatever happened to her, Imani should have dealt with that at the time it happened. She should have filed a police report. Because that's assault. If you send somebody cut your face, that's assault. So she should have filed a police report against Cardi B. Should have filed a police report. And then following that, I would think she would follow a lawsuit, because now there's these medical bills that she got to deal with. And I think, y'all, I don't know if there was any records or centered around her, or I haven't listened to any testimony centered around her going to get checked out. by a doctor for the cut. So I don't know if she skipped over going to like an urgent care or a ER or hospital and just went, because I think I seen a comment on one of the videos for the trial where somebody was like, wow, that's interesting how she skipped over going to a doctor and went straight to a plastic surgeon. Did she go to a doctor following the incident to talk to them about the cut on her face? I'm just asking questions because wouldn't you look for somebody to go to a doctor to be seen if your cut is that bad to where you need to have cosmetic surgery? That means that's going to be a noticeable scar, right? That means that's something that cocoa butter, vitamin E oil, like it ain't cutting it. So where's that record? And I didn't, when they had her on the stand, I didn't hear, they didn't ask her, from what I heard, I didn't hear them ask her about going to a doctor. Like, okay, well, after the incident happened, you say you got cut. Did you go to the doctor to get checked out? D, you said a plastic surgeon is a doctor. Yes, but a lot of times when something happens to someone and there's an injury and you feel like it's something has to be corrected through plastic surgery, you're going to go to a regular medical doctor first, right? You're going to go to a medical doctor to have them to do the first look, for them to see, talk to you about the seriousness of it, to maybe even set an expectation as to what the healing process would be like. From there, if you don't like what they saying, if they're saying, well, yeah, once you heal, you are likely going to have a permanent scar. And once the stitches that we put in your face, you see what I'm saying? It's a conversation that's going to be had. Then you go and holler at the plastic surgeon up the way, like, yo, okay, I don't want this scar forever. The doctor already set the expectation that this is probably going to leave this permanent scar. I don't want that. What can you do for me? You see, it's just the order. D. Lately said the medical doctors, they just specialize. They're medical doctors. They just specialize in plastic surgery. Okay, so you're saying that same doctor can also have that conversation with her that a regular doctor would have, that you'll just go and see, maybe going to the hospital or something when something just happened to you. I didn't know that. I didn't know, yeah, the plastic surgery, they're still having those type of conversations with you. But again, the question I have is, how long after the incident happened did she go talk to this doctor, plastic surgeon? How long later? Thank you for sharing that information, Dila Diddy. So how long afterwards did she go talk to the doctor? Because that would also make a difference on what that scar was looking like by the time the doctor seen it. If it looked like a fresh scar coming off of something that just popped off, or did it look like a scar that had been there for some time? Because a scar that you got yesterday shouldn't look the same as a scar that you got 12 months ago, right? It's going to look different. It's going to look different. And remember, she says she ain't got no pictures. And people have talked about in the chat, they pointed out, a doctor, if they're going to do surgery, they're going to do a before and after picture, right? I have not seen any pictures. I'm not saying any haven't been presented, but I have not seen any pictures of this cut. I haven't seen it, but I'm not. Okay, I'm back. My phone overheated. For those of you who are still here, my phone overheated. Charlene said my son had a bad cut in his face and got a scar. He said she still has to go to the hospital to get sense before having surgery. Yeah, makes sense to me. So none of it makes sense, but nonetheless, this is day 3 of the trial, Cardi B versus Imani Ellis. And I want to continue to watch the trial, listen to the information that's coming out, and come back and just give my opinion. Give my opinion on what's going on. It's interesting to me. It has my attention, but I like listening to court cases and stuff. I wish I had more time in my life to do it. quite fascinated by just the details that come out in these cases. And this one right here really has my attention. But I do feel confident that Cardi is going to win. I do feel confident Cardi's going to win this one, which she should. I do not believe that she cut this woman on her face. I do not believe that. I believe she might have called a woman a big back, called her fat, nappy. I believe all of that. I believe all of that. She verbally assaulted her, but I don't think Cardi put her hands, physically assaulted this woman. And that's basically what she's on trial for the alleged physical assault. But the woman, Imani, she doesn't have any receipts, which is so weird. It's just kind of, I don't know, I'm just perplexed by her getting this far along in the process and it going to trial, and she have no proof of the incident that took place on that day. It's like the stuff that she's talking about was like way down the line, possibly years down the line. Baby, well, where are receipts from day one? Like, this was 2018. Come on now. Come on now. So y'all like the video. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. I am going to continue to watch this case, and I will come back to report on it as it continues to unfold, and count down to the day that the jury deliberate and come back and say, I don't know, would this be centered of Cardi B, and I don't know, what type of verdict do you have at the end when it comes to this type of case? Like, what would they say? You're innocent of, like, I don't know. I don't know what type of verdict we would be looking for in this. But I do know, what the woman is alleging. She's alleging assault, but nonetheless, Cardi B in there fighting for her life. She got her team, the dream team, and they are definitely doing their thing. So they earning their keep. They are earning their keep. So that's good for her. So y'all stay tuned. Y'all make sure y'all like the video. Catch the replay if you came in late. This is take 2. My first live got interrupted. YouTube be playing with me. YouTube be playing with me. So I got 2 channels. I have this channel and my second channel, ChicSpeaks on it. If you add the words on it after ChicSpeaks, that's my second channel, and it's political talk. So if you're interested in political talk, that's my larger platform over there. You can tap in with me and listen to what I have to say about the shenanigans of politics. Over here, it's just the shenanigans with just all else. All else. Just everything else goes over here. My other channel is just, political talk. Political talk. That's usually where I spend most of my time at, doing the political talk. So it's a bigger following over there. But nonetheless, I enjoy coming over here because it's a little just kick back and chill. It's not so crazy with the chat and the, when you know, it's just real cool. So this is kind of like a woo-saw when I'm going live on this channel because it's a smaller platform. Not as many people know me, not as many trolls, the other platform, child, everybody and their mama coming through. So go check it out so you can understand why they be coming for your girl, why YouTube be shadow banning the channel. But with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves and one another. Heavy on the taking care of yourself. Like attracts like. So be good to one another. Be nice. Just be nice. It's the little things. It's the little things. I appreciate your support. Simply just watching the content is the world to me, and liking the video. It helps with the algorithm. It helps with the algorithm. Engage. Leave me a comment on this video. Let me know. Are you team Cardi B? Do you feel like she got this in the bag? That woman's just wanting money. Cardi B ain't put her hands on that woman. Or you like, nah, she did it. Cardi B doing the most. She don't like black women, because y'all know they put that out there. Cardi don't like black women. She called that woman an N-word, and she need to pay like she weigh. Let me know. We're going to talk about it. Get in the comments. Stay tuned. Like the video, and I will catch y'all on the next